Hi, Mary Ann from Coastal Love and Decor. How's everybody doing today? Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so I've been going through my stash. I have a lot of wood pieces from when I did chalk paste and stencils and made, t-shirts and signs and all that good stuff. So I'm going through my stash and I come across this wood piece, and this has the beaded hanger. But if you didn't like the beaded hanger, you could cut it off. And I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it hang on there or not. Now, what I did is I taped the side because the ends don't have a ridge. So I'm hoping you get, so the tape is extended up above to stop it from going over. So I'm hoping that should work. Let me make sure you guys are still in frame here. I think you're going to lose just the very edges of it. I apologize. This is the best I can get this. So I'm going to make a turtle piece to hang. Of course, you know me. I love my turtles. So first off, I've got my resin mixed. And now I'm going to mix up some sand and resin. So let me get my resin in there. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to mix that up. And get that all coated. And that's just a little bit too thick for me. So let me put in a little bit more here. Now this, according to the measurements, this piece should take about 4 ounces. Now I mixed up 5 because of my sand. So I would mix up a little extra if you try this. Also, I got this board, I'm pretty sure it's Hobby Lobby. But I want this not very runny because I'm going to be putting the ocean on each side of my, I'm going to call it my sandbar. So I'm trying to decide, yeah, I'm going to put just a little bit more in. And I would have just laid out my resin and put my sand on it, but I know I might be blowing. And if you guys, it was, I think, the last video, I forgot about the blowing part. Oh, that was the one I did on the canvas, and I do have to do some fixing on that because the sand went on the side. So I'm going to have to do a little fixing on that. So I don't want that same problem on this piece. Okay, I'm going to give this a try. Now, again, I apologize if you don't see the very edge of this. So I'm trying to make just a little sand barrier here, or sandbar. You know how you go in the ocean and they have the sandbars? Well, this is what I'm kind of going for. want a little bit more done in here. I'm just going to make it go and meet to the other side here. And I do want the waviness of it. But when you're doing, you know, do what makes you happy when you're doing yours. And now I'm just trying to fill out any spots that are a little too thin. And I could sprinkle some more sand on the top and kind of press it in. Just like so. Put a little bit more down in here. Maybe I'll go up a little bit further up in here. Like so. If I can get it off my popsicle stick. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to try and pick up these few little pieces here. And just push them in there. And we got a couple more. Let me get my stick here. Here we go. I want a little wave shape going in there. I don't want it completely straight. Okay. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Although it does look like I could use just a smidgen more sand in there. Let's see what I get out of my cup here. Okay. I think that's good. I think we're good there. I think I like it. Okay. Now we are going to start adding our pieces that I'm putting in here. So I have this faux coral, which I'm just going to lay right in there. Just push it in there a little bit. And then I have this shell here, which I think I'm just going to lay right there. And then we have, let's see, I think I need more sand in there. Let's see, I'm going to take this down just a little bit. And I'm going to put that right there. Let's move this out a little bit, okay. And then this can go here. And this can go right there. Okay, now I'm going to put a little piece of driftwood in there as well. And here's the turtle we'll be using. And notice he has one of his flippers up, so he's in motion. So I think I'm going to put him right there. He's on the sandbar moving, going for the ocean. All right, and then I'm going to put this piece just right up in here. Okay, let's put my sand dollar up in here, or not my sand dollar, my starfish up in there. And then I'm just going to randomly start adding some shells. Okay, let's put this here. And let's see, let's put this one in there. And let's see, what else do I got going on here? Let's put this one this way. And I think I'll put this one down in here. Now I think what I want to do is add a few of the pearlized crushed shells. So I think I'm just going to drop a few here and there. I'm going to move them around in a minute here with a toothpick. Especially around this driftwood. Put some pieces in around there. Put that. I mean, you could use this instead of the sand as well. It just depends on what you like and what you're going for. Now, let's see, that's looking good. And let's just add a few in here. Get that in there. I'm going to walk on the other side and see what I'm seeing from this side. I do want to put a couple in here. And underneath there. A couple more. And it probably wouldn't hurt, maybe a couple down in here. By the shells. And maybe just a few right in here. I don't want to go crazy with the shells. The crushed shells. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Now, I think what I want is a few smaller shells dropped in there. So let me grab some smaller shells and then more or less just drop them in there. Where's my toothpick? Here it is. I just want to make sure it gets attached to that sand resin, because I might drizzle a little bit on the top of the sand. I don't know what that is. And let's see. Like so. And you see I have my gloves on today, guys. Yeah, a few of my fingers are still a little sore. So that's what you get when you don't wear your gloves. And let's see what else. I don't know. I think that needs another starfish in there. And obviously, you know, I'm going to put a pearl somewhere in here. Oh. Let's get that in there. Yeah, I might just drizzle just a smidgen over these little shells I'm dropping in here. You know, I don't like the white in there. I'm liking the tan in this piece. I mean, I do have a white shell in there, but sometimes that's what I kind of follow what I do. All right, let me get another starfish here. Do I have one in this container? Yes. I think I'm just going to put that right in there. Just like so. Just looks a little, it looked a little empty there to me. And then I think a few more little tiny ones. Walking over my dog in here. I usually shut the door. He sits in here with me, but usually it's in the doorway. And I closed the door. He was further in the room, so he's kind of stuck in here. Yeah. Put that in there. And how about one more of these? These are pretty. What are they called? Nautilus? Let's put one right in there. Yeah, some of these I'm going to have to hit with just a little bit of resin. And yeah, I think this, well, let's go right there with that one. Okay. I think I'm liking that. I don't think it needs any more. But see, sometimes after I get off of my video, I'll look again and I go, oh, let's add this piece. I do that every now and then. And of course, let's put a pearl in there. And I'm going to put the largest one I have. Oh no, I have larger, but I'm going to put a pearl in there. Okay. Now, let's get to the next step. That looks good. I'm really liking it. Oh, other thing is, I think this needs leveled. The board is, you know, off a smidgen. And I probably should have done that first. Because that's why I had my stick sitting there so I could do it. I noticed it the other day. I want it pretty level. That's good. And that's good. Okay. Alrighty, because I don't want the resin just going down one side. Okay, now let's do the ocean on both sides. Now let's see. Oh, I better get these in smaller cups. My resin's starting to warm up. So let me grab. If your resin is warming up, put it in smaller cups. Then it doesn't heat up as fast. So I've got just a little smidgen for my white. And then I'm thinking just one color on this instead of two. And I'm thinking Lorraine Shimmer. It's like a blue-green. Yeah. So I got my white. I'm going to need a little bit of clear. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put... I don't think I want to put darker water up in here because it's more or less like a sandbar. Well, I can do this, and then if I want to add more color, I will add more color. So I'm going to pour some in a cup. And I need a, okay. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to hit that little pearl. Make it look like there's a little water in that shell. And then I'm just going to go over, I'm just going to put a little drop on some of the shells I added. Because I don't want them coming off. And I don't want that much. Where else did I put them? Here. I don't want my sand running either, so I'm trying to be a little cautious with this. Well, put some in here. I got it on my container. And I am going to put a little inside this coral, this faux coral, just so it doesn't go nowhere. But let me get that cleaned up. Right here. We got this happening here. And I should have taped this edge off. I probably should have put a piece of tape there. But we'll see how it goes. Because if I end up blowing waves, I'm a little concerned. But we'll see. We'll give it a shot. All right. As I look it over, I'll be able to see where I need more clear. So, oh, this will be a pretty color. So I'm going to add this in here and mix it up. Isn't that pretty? And again, this is the Lorraine Shimmer from Color Passion. I really, really love their colors and their paste. I don't benefit from any of this. I'm just telling you, I really like it. I've been using it for a couple years now. probably more than a couple. All right, let's see how we're gonna go here. So I'm going to pour in here. I mean, I have more resin left, which I need for the other side. I'm just hoping this should be enough. Get along the edge here. And if by chance this side with the tape gets a little, you know, wavy, maybe it's not very straight, I'm fine with that because it's the water. And actually, I was saying, I hope it does come out wavy because I think it would really look neat. All right, I'm going to get in here along the edge. I'll probably have to go on the other side. I just want to get this filled in here. Oh, this is going to be a pretty piece. Oh, yeah. Let's get that in there. Let's see, now I have some more here. Oh, crap. Why did you pour it on the wrong spot? Okay, let's... Get it along the edge there. Oh yeah, that's gonna look really pretty. Oh, I like this. Sometimes I surprise myself. All right, I'm gonna walk on the, oh, here's a spot. I'm gonna walk on the other side so I can see better in here. Just get on there. Alrighty. Yes, this is really looking good. At least in my eyes, guys. All right. I'll mess with the rest of it later. But let me get the other side. Oh, that is so pretty. I love that color blue. Okay, yeah, so in case you want to get it, this is what it is. And I order, I used to have a girl on Etsy that carried them, and she doesn't carry them anymore. But if I need any now, what is it, Artist Till Death? That's where you can get the Color Passion. All right, so I'm going to pour some more. Alexa, stop. That's my 30-minute. So I know I have, I think it's 40 minutes I have to mess with this resin. And when I'm not doing a video, then I can just, you know, do my thing and I go about it. But I wanted to have the resin, you know, mixed before I hopped on, and so I wouldn't have to shut it off, turn it back on, you know. Alrighty. I'm hoping maybe I better pour a little bit more of that clear in here. Just want a little bit of clear left over, just in case. Gorgeous color. Gorgeous color. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do here. Get in there. Okay, I want to get this lid on my paste. Okay, so now I'm going to get up here. Again, I'm not sure if you're seeing me in the corner. Again, I apologize. But I think I'm going to need more resin. I have a little bit of clear left over. Get up in there in the sand. Probably be better if I use my fingers. And again, I don't want it to go over this tape here either. I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm just going to take my finger. I think I need a little bit more resin. I do have a little bit more clear left. Yeah, I'm thinking I do. Let me get this off my finger. Yeah, I need a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And I did want to save just a smidgen of the clear. I don't know. I'm going to give most of it in here. I just need some in case I have to drizzle, you know, some of the shells. And actually, I want to get around that piece of driftwood as well, a little bit more, because it's curved. Okay, here we go. Yes, I needed that little bit more. Get it all out of there. Let me just put some in here too. Get that all used up. Oh yeah, this is really looking pretty. All right, so I'm just gonna take and just swirl it just a little bit. And then I'm going to get on the other side as well to see that reverse side. And we're just going to swirl this up a little. Yeah, this is getting thick. Okay, let me get on the other side real quick. Make sure I got it to the edge along here. Where's right here? Oh, this to me is gorgeous. I'm just saying, it's gorgeous. Alrighty, now I'm gonna take my torch to it, and then I want to just put some waves. Get some waves on it. And I didn't mix my white yet. And that's usually the first thing I do. And let me get that done. Because I know my time is running out before it gets so thick. But I like this thick. But there's only a little bit in there, so it takes longer for it to get thicker. Okay. Now, let's see. I don't even know if I'm going to blow it the more I'm looking at it. Oh, let me get my torch. Get those bubbles out of there. Let me wipe off my hands somewhat. And grab my torch. Okay. And let's see, what am I going to do here? I think I know what I want to do, but I'm going to run it along here, see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm always worried I'm going to get a glob. Like that. Let's just run that up there. A little bit by this turtle. Okay. And actually I want them to go this way. Let me get this up a little. But let's see what we're going to do here. Doing waves for me is you never know. Let's just take that out. You know, and I'm praying the sand ain't going nowhere. It's like, there we go. All right, I'm liking that. I don't want it blowing this away in here. I can put a few little white waves, but I don't want to blow it that way. Oh, this is looking pretty. All right, now I need to get to the other side and do that side with it. Okay, here we go. This definitely is getting thicker now, which is good. Oops. We're going to take that right in there. Okay. Let me grab my torch again. And I'm just going to do I hope my gun reaches over here. Let me get this resin cleaned up on this side so I can motivate a little bit. Let me see if I can get my heat gun on this side. Okay. Just going to go along and heat it up a little bit. And let's see what happens here. Move it along a little. There we go. I seen one girl using 2 heat guns blowing at the same time. And I'm definitely going to have to try that. Oops, I lost a shell. See, some of this isn't attached. I don't want to work this too much. Alrighty. Put my heat gun on that side. This is looking good. Okay. And I'm just going to add just another little white line along there. And along here. Right in there. I'll just let that go. Let me check the other side. Where'd that shell go? It's fine. Oh, right there. I don't want it there. There we go. Let me take that. Yeah, that blue from clear over there. All right. And then I'm just going to run it. Yeah, this is getting really thick. I'm just going to run another line around. Just because I can. All right, now I'll get the toothpick and I'm just going to put a few little white squigglies in there, just a few. Yeah, this is really thick. Oops. Well, that's okay. It's staying like that. A few more in here. Maybe one in there. We definitely need another one in here. Trying not to run the thing on the bottom. And we need one more in here. All right, let me get some on the other side. Ah, that is looking so pretty. So pretty. Just a few in here. Close to the shoreline. So the waves are rolling in. Yep. Couple back in here. Yeah, see, it's thick. It's thick. I really shouldn't be messing with it right now, but I'm going for it. Alrighty, I think that looks good. I'm going to take another gander. Yes, I'm liking it. I am really liking this. This is starting to it's starting to look like there's rolls of waves. I don't know if you can catch that on the camera, but this is looking awesome to me. All right, I'm just gonna dab a little bit here. I don't even know if it's even thin enough to even see. It's too thick now, but I just want to get. Now tomorrow, if some of these pieces fall off, I have UV resin that I can use and use my UV light to attach them, just depending on how they're on. Or I can use the E6000. But when I was blowing, only that one shell blew off, so we might be good to go there. I just want to make sure this driftwood stays on because it is curved. So I'm just going to drizzle this thick resin on it and see what happens. There we go. I think, yeah. Okay, guys. I'm going to take some of the alcohol and give this a spritz, because see, there's some bubbles, and I'll get that done and make sure I get rid of my little tiny bubbles. But in this piece, a few tiny bubbles is not going to bother me because it's the water. But oh, I'm loving the color of the water. Just loving it. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. I want to thank my new subscribers. And, you know, please comment. You know, it helps my page get out there. Comment, share, you know, all that good stuff. I'd appreciate it. All right, you guys have a great rest of your Valentine's Day. I probably won't be doing anything for at least a week. I'm going away for a week. I'm going camping to Weeki Watchy, so I'll get some more inspiration there, and so I'll see you when I get back. Alrighty, bye.